The best brands define their PR wow in a clear, concise, and compelling way to attract major media coverage, fans, and sales. Find out their marketing and public relations secrets today on 8 Second Branding with host Liz H. Kelly. Liz is the founder of Goody PR and the author of 8 Second PR. In each episode, she brings you the stories behind some of the best brands, CEOs, and authors. Plus, she explains how media appearances alone are 3 times more valuable than any paid ad. Now, here's your host, Liz Kelly.
Hello, this is Liz Kelly live with another timely episode of 8 Second Branding, the podcast. And we have such an exciting guest for you today. Carol Starr Taylor is the publisher of Star House Publishing. And she has all kinds of tips today on how to write a great book and then how to get a book award. And she has some really great book awards that she'll tell you about. So Carol, welcome to the show and tell us all about you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Well, there's lots to say, but I'll keep the Coles Notes version. I am, of course, the founder and publisher of Star House Publishing. I am a co-founder of the Creative Book Promo Group, and I am a 6-time best-selling author. And as well as the 2-time recipient of the Brilliant Minded Women Award, which I guess ranks me as one of the top 100 women in Canada. I'm in Toronto, by the way.
Fantastic. Well, I'm in Los Angeles, but the background's Hawaii because it's Friday. I'm dreaming about Hawaii. But that's fantastic. And by the way, we met on Instagram, which shows a lot about the power of networking on social media. And Carol has the best photos that she puts up, and it's so inspiring. And tell us a little bit about that before we get started. You said you do a lot to do your Instagram posts in terms of research.
Yeah, I do, because my Instagram, I mean, my whole thing is that I want to inspire people, and it's not just write your book or anything like that, but it's really about stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something different than you wouldn't normally do. And it's about empowering, it's about inspiring. Part of what I do is I publish solo author books, but I also publish compilation books. Many of those are either first-time authors and people that want to publish, and returning authors that, you know, may haven't published in a while or have done a book and they want to do a chapter. And so it really, really highlights them. So I'm all about making people shine. And I believe that we all have the power in ourselves to do that. So my Instagram, I really do spend a lot of time sourcing out images that are part of my brand and I appreciate the compliment for somebody that, you know, branding is of the utmost importance that to notice. And I stay on brand as much as I possibly can. And, you know, it's also about highlighting the authors in between, but I do source out images. All the captions in the posts are written by me. And I love it. I love connecting with people. And like yourself, I mean, some of my best relationships, it's really funny, have been from social media. Connecting in a messenger, then on the phone, and just moving forward.
It really is one of the most positive things that happens with social media. We've had a lot of ups and downs in social media, but connecting with people who you've never met, who could open your eyes to something new, is something really powerful. And yes, I love your brand, and I love that it's positive and upbeat, because our PR company, Goody PR, is all about magnifying good and making people shine also. And when you do your publishing with Star House Publishing, I want to talk about that because when people write a book, it's such a reflection on who they are, and it's so important. And a lot of people really struggle because they don't know what to do, and they come to, for example, they come to Goody PR, and I'm working with a client right now to redo their cover and redo their brand because it's not ready for prime time. So how do you work with authors to get them ready for prime time and show their life's work?
Well, I mean, I think that a lot has to do with, depending on the genre, making sure that the cover actually represents the book. Somebody just brought a book to my attention, and the cover was so incongruent to their audience, to their message, that it's a cover is so important, and that not something that's just out of a Shutterstock image and throw some words on it. It really is design. And so I have top designer, and so that is the cover design. Obviously they have, you have less than 2 seconds, because there's so much competition, when they're going through the Amazon, or whether it's Barnes or whatever it is, there's a little thumbnail. So you've got to stand out. So title has to be, grabbing. Subtitle, of course, would be great for SEO, great for finding, because you want to be able to do that. Cover design is super important. If it's DIY, everybody knows it's DIY. So we want something with font, with proper fonts and that sort of thing, and it's really got to be done by a designer. Cover design is a skill. Not every graphic designer even knows how to do covers, book covers. So somebody that specializes. Interior design. Oh my gosh, I could go all day on interior design, because people don't realize how important interior design is. And it is like, what is the difference between a traditional published book and an indie book? Is so many things, but you can also tell, unless it's a really high quality with fonts, and the reader experience with interior design is super important. So again, it's the outside package, but the inside package, it's got to be well written, right? It has to be properly edited, and comprehensive editing, not just a line edit, not just it's got to be properly edited. And if you don't feel, or ghostwritten, that's another option for people. And I know it's your baby, but sometimes it's cutting words and cutting chapters and rearranging your book is only for its greater good. It's not for, to do anything else, because at the end of the day, there's a million books were launched in the United States alone last year. 1 million. How do they find you? You got to stand out. So again, you got to stand out and shine. And how do we do that? We do that with high quality, and we do that with book marketing.
Exactly. I think you just hit on so many important points. And I just want to stress that, because I've written now 2 books. One was about dating, smart man hunting, which is really how I got to do PR, because I got 500 media interviews for that. And I invested so much money in going to book marketing seminars to talk about things that we're talking about today. So for the listeners out there, this is a great crash course for you on books. And then the second book was 8-Second PR, and that's really more how to do PR on your own. It's got all our PR secrets in it. So the first book I self-published, then I got picked up by Barnes & Noble. They picked 7 books out of 12,000 titles. I was so honored. And then the third version was with the publisher. But when I did 8-second PR, I decided that I would just publish on Amazon. And so I had to learn so much. It would have been great to work with somebody like you, because I ended up hiring a project manager to take me through everything that you're talking about, because I wanted the book to look professional. Mm-hmm. So the first thing always as an author is start with the title, and then Google the title and make sure nobody else is using the title. That is the number one thing that I find that so many authors skip. They pick what I call a cliche title that's been used a million times, and they think it's a fun cliche, but it does nothing for their brand or making them unique and stand out, like you said, and shine. So that's number one, get the title right. But then once you get the title right, it's about the packaging. So I say, create an outline. So to start, and then make sure the book flows and make sure it has different sections. And then like you said, you've got the outside cover, the inside design, and the editing. So all of those things are so important. So what do you find are like the number one mistake that people make?
Well, I think that, I have to say one of the biggest mistakes is that they want their, you may disagree with me, but they want to have their picture on the cover. And I say that's a no-no. Because other than your friends and family and maybe people in your community, they may know you, nobody else does. So the fact that you've got your picture on the cover, unless you're a household name, it will do nothing for you. So it looks like a vanity project, right? So I think that depending on, proper graphics, proper messaging, your picture can go about the author in the book. It can go on the back of the book about the author. But to put your picture on the front of the cover, I think is a big mistake, is a big no-no. The other thing is people don't have budget. So one of the first thing that I say is, what's your budget? They don't have one. Okay, if you, and they just spent a year or two writing a book, and I guess there's a couple of other things that people don't do. They don't rewrite. They think that, they've written their book and it's done. It's not done. So, writing a book takes rewrites and rewrite and rewrite and editing and rewrite. And if you need a book coach, whatever, but when, let's say you use my services, I will tell you where it should go, what you should cut. But again, that's, ultimately it's up to the author. But definitely looking like a vanity project, no. Not having professional editing, huge mistake. People decide to cheap out, right? And you get what you pay for. I'm sorry, but so if you think that, your friend's cousin's brother is a teacher and they have great grammar so they can be an editor, no.
Yeah. No, I think you just hit on some really important points. I want to go through a couple of them. One, the person on the cover, I just had an author go on the cover, and I like it because it's a stage photo or an action shot, I'll call it, that goes with the concept of the book. It's not just like, here's my picture. It actually has a theme and a message to the photo. Is that okay?
Yes and no. I still think that the most people, and if you Google it, you'll see that most people do not recommend having your face on the cover.
That's really interesting. I really like this person's cover, but I can see what you mean by that. And I think you bring up a lot of really good points. Now, the point you made though about cheaping out, I think that is so important, and not having a budget, because you're right. It's what people don't understand is that writing the book is like the easy part. The hard part is the marketing and the branding and getting it out to the world. And maybe you're not a great writer, or maybe you struggle with writing, so maybe that's not a fair statement. But the marketing part is just as hard as writing the book, and just as important, because you don't want to just write the book and then let it sit on the shelf and nobody knows it's out there.
I think one of the big mistakes that authors make is taking this kind of full circle is, if I write it, they will come. No, they won't. So, oh yeah, I'm launching my book, I'm uploading it. Okay, everybody's going to buy it. I'm going to be a New York Times bestseller. I'm going to be this and that. Blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. And I have to be the one, unfortunately, to tell them the truth. They don't want to hear the truth necessarily. Some people appreciate it, and then they find out later, that I was right. And so the thing is that there's different components to writing the book. And the first thing I say to people is, the day you stop marketing your book is the day your book stops selling. Period. The end. So hear this again. The day you stop promoting your book is the day your book stops selling. That's it. And that doesn't mean spamming every single person on your followers list. Buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. It's strategic marketing. People think also that, well, if I get a traditional publisher, they will market for me. Again, no. So people think, oh, I'm going to hold out for a traditional publisher. There are hybrid publishers that say that they do everything. Oh yeah, we're going to do this and this and this and this. If you have a publisher that does everything, they're doing nothing. Stick to what you know. I say to people, you know what? You need to write your book. I have an editor, I have designers, I have this. I get your book from start to finish and upload it to all the different platforms. Okay? You want PR? You want marketing? I'll give you 3 names, or I'll give you 2 names, or I'll give you people that I've worked with that are, and you interview them, you speak to them, see if they jive with you, right? And so I do my part. And yes, I market on my, on my site and blah, 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 but that's not marketing. So that kind of takes it to the next level as far as having a budget, making sure that you have not just a publishing budget, not just an editing budget, but a promotion and PR budget. And a lot of people don't realize it. And they also think that they're going to get all their money back that they put out. No.
Yeah.
So
no.
What is the reason? Again, why are you writing your book? And I think that is a big component. What is your big why? If you are writing nonfiction and using the book as a tool, like your 8-second PR, whatever it is, for other courses, for speaking engagements, for other things, that's a great way to do it. You'll be able to monetize using your book as a platform for other things. But if there's no budget and there's no plan, and like a plan, you need a plan, not just, okay, my book is out now, go buy it. And I tell people the same thing. When I launched my first book 5 years ago, my network, now it's a lot larger, but my network then was over 40,000 people. So, that's a lot for the average person, right? So I say to people, okay, well, I'll be honest with you. If everybody converted to buy my book, I would have been a New York Times bestseller. But that didn't happen. So, most people don't even have a list or hardly any followers if you take a look at a lot of the authors that are looking. So again, if you want to go the extra mile, then you're going to have to make your plan, and your book ends up being a product. And I know that people look at it as their baby, but it is a product. It is something to sell. So it's about building your relationships, building and getting out there, and whether it's book signings or whatever. So that's why on the other flip side, kind of segueing into creative book promo, why Jackie and I decided, so it's not Star House and it's not Jackie Brown Books, it's us, that we know that we need to, that authors need help. They need to know and where to go for services and different things to market their book, and get them highlighted, which is book awards. And there's a few components: book awards, readers' book choice, book tours, book trailers, and the critic book review. Very important to have independent book reviews that you can use. These are all things that you can talk about other than, here's my book, buy it. Here's my book, buy it. And I've been spammed so many times on social media from people I don't even know, buy my book.
Right. I want to make sure that the audience gets all this. And so let's shift to the awards, because Sure. We've got the Olympics starting this week. Yes. And the Olympics is really all about, the best of the best. There are over 11,000 athletes going to compete, and they train all their life. And it's because they want to be the best of the best. And that's really what these awards are. That's what great book publishing is about. It's your presentation to the world about your personal brand. So tell us more about how your awards work, and how can people submit their book?
Sure. So we're going to be launching our site, hopefully in a couple of weeks. We're just getting it going, and I'll tell you. So the Capital Book Awards, it'll be whether you're traditionally published or you are indie published. So regardless of how you published or by who, you're eligible anywhere from any books that are from 2016 on. So, and any genre. And there'll be lots of drop-down menus as far as different genres and different ways in which we have independent panels. So of professionals. So somebody who's who specializes in children is not going to be, on a panel for something that they really don't have any interest in. And again, it's just from cover design, interior design. It's also about anything that you can imagine, story, character building, whether it's fiction. So it'll be from travel books to bullet journals. Everything in the gamut, anything that's published. If you have an ISBN number or an AISN number, you are eligible for that. So there'll be entrance and drop-down menus to how many categories you want to be considered for. Right? So you may win for cover design, or you may win for diversity, or you may win for, so there's different elements. We do have different, so those platinum, gold, silver. We also have pillar awards, which are mentions. Again, that's really important if you're, an award-winning author. So that allows you to step up. We have taken it even further. So anybody that is going to register and submit their book, so it's an upload, okay? We're not taking any physical books, it's all an upload. Then we will automatically put you on the Reader's Book Choice. The Reader's Book Choice is a phenomenal way of highlighting and getting readers to find you, because people can, it's a dynamic part of the site. So people can actually vote, and we will have books of the month and based on votes, based on genre. So it's not like you're competing. If you're a journal or you are a business book, you're not competing with, a beach read, for example. It's in your genre that you have. So it's, people can go in, they can vote, and then we'll have a book of the month. So that's really a great way, because people will start to, like, people that are readers will start to go in and they want to see those 4 or 5 star books. They want to see. So it's, again, another opportunity to shine your light on these books. There will be a financial award for the award winners. And then we'll be laying those out as well. And also the top winners will be able to speak to experts. That's part of the package, experts in their field, and really get some great nuggets to help them along. And then, of course, the book trailers. Since Instagram last week mentioned that they're no longer going to be a photo sharing app, which I can't imagine they're going to take that away, but I don't know how they're going to do that. But video is more and more important. So a book trailer, now a DIY book trailer doesn't work. Everybody knows it's a DIY. When something is pow, that you can put on YouTube, that you can put on your website, that you can put on your Facebook, that you can put on your reels, that's going to impact people. Video about your book. So the book trailer is something that I think a lot of people should be doing, and that's another service that we're going to be offering. So it's taking your book promo to the next level.
That's a really good way to explain it. I like that, with the Capital Book Awards and then the Reader's Book Choice, right?
Yes.
And then all the different services. So we've only got a couple minutes left, so I just want to make sure we hit on the most important points. So they should go where to find this?
We should be launching our site, and it'll be creativebookpromo.com. And we are on Instagram, so it's Creative Book Promo. And so as soon as that launches, as long as you have a book has an ISBN or an AISN that's 2016 or more current, then you can sign up for it and put it in, and then it automatically goes to the Reader's Book Choice. So that should be launching in a couple of weeks, I hope. So it's creativebookpromo.com, and it's amazing. I'm super excited, because to be an award-winning author is there's nothing like it.
It really is a great thing to do. And then, for example, 8 Second PR is a award-winning book. You can take the award seal and put it on the cover of the book. You can put it on your website. You can put it on social media, and then add it to your press release, add it to your Amazon listing about your book, or wherever you're posting your book. So it's just a great thing to have, and really makes you stand out. And by the way, I heard that it's actually 4,500 books per day get published on Amazon. 4,500 books per day on Amazon. So as an author, it is really hard to stand out. And that's why we did this episode, and why we're doing our 8 Second Branding podcast, because everything is about branding, messaging, and your marketing. So it's all key to your success, and you getting the gold for your book, whatever it means for you to be the best. If they are an author and they want to go to get your services to get their book done, where do they go?
Star House Publishing is my publishing company. So if anybody wants to, either be in the compilation that I'm going to be doing, the Soulology Chronicles Grit, that would be starhousepublishing.com with one R. So that, and then or they have a solo book that they want to do. If you've already got a book and you want to do your promo, createabookpromo.com, and the Capital Book Awards will be part of that. Definitely, it's actually a small investment, really not that much money to submit your book, but the rewards can be quite considerable.
Right.
And to highlight and to get new writers in, to get new readers. We want to find readers. They're the ones that buy the books. So it's connecting authors and readers together with the reader's book choice and giving you, I always say, giving you something to talk about.
Fantastic. So I love all this information. It's so helpful on how to write a good book, get a good cover, rewrite it. So it's really good. Get a professional editor, and then, create a budget for your marketing and promotion, which includes everything we've been talking about with the Capital Book Awards and doing a book trailer, all of these things, and hiring a professional graphic artist so your cover stands out and you look really good. And that's not just for the book cover, that's for everything you do, because you want to be consistent.
Right.
The other thing we didn't talk about was the importance of getting good headshots as an author.
Oh my gosh, yes. Headshots, your pictures. I mean, professional, not something that's, not cut off or whatever it is. I mean, there's so many more things to talk about, but I would say, if you use a company like myself, which is, a hybrid publisher, but we're not all created equal. But just to let you know that it's actually more cost effective. I give you a number, but it's more cost effective than doing all of these services a la carte, because I have relationships with different companies and different editors and different designers and things like that. So for me to go to somebody, I'm coming as many books. You're going in as a one-hit wonder. They're going to charge you. Trust me, they're going to charge you a lot more than what I would be charging. So again, it's not running around looking for the best deal. Oh, this one's going to do a better book cover. This one's going to do this. This one's going to, you know what? You're going to end up paying more and redoing things. I've had people that, said to me, oh, I've done my cover, and I'll go, oh, was it done in Illustrator? Was it done in, Adobe? Was it done in InDesign? Was it, well, no. Okay, well, it has to be redone. So then they've had to pay again. So do it right the first time.
I totally agree with you. And the whole one-stop shop is so helpful, because it does get overwhelming to manage all these different vendors and all these different relationships. So the last question that I want to ask, that I always ask people, is tied to 8 seconds. So what do you think you can do to promote your book in 8 seconds? If there was one thing you could do, what can you do really quickly in 8 seconds?
Okay, I think that you can register for the Capital Book Awards.
Okay, you could do that in 8 seconds?
Pretty much. I would say that if you could go into the thing, you know exactly what you want to do. I mean, most people sign up, boom, boom, boom. They pick the genre, they pick everything. And then in the next 24 hours, it will be uploaded to the Reader's Book Choice.
I love it. I love it. And I think the bottom line is, don't procrastinate. Just do it. Just do it. And don't stop. Don't stop at the first thing you start doing to promote. I always say PR is a marathon. Same thing with marketing. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not, I'm going to promote my book for 3 months and I'm going to be done. No, that doesn't work. My first book I promoted for 5 years. 5 years. I always came up with new story ideas. So it is possible to keep promoting your book, as long as you can come up with timely topics. So I want to thank you, Carol, so much for being on my show. And, one more time, give your website so everybody goes there.
Okay, so if you're looking to write a book or to be in the compilation for the Soulology Chronicles, it is www.starhousepublishing.com. That's STAR housepublishing.com. If you are looking to promote your book, you can go to our IG, which is Creative Book Promo. Okay, so if you're on Instagram, go to Creative Book Promo, check it out. We'll be making some announcements as soon as it starts to launch. Go to creativebookpromo.com. Right now it's under construction, but keep watching for it because we are launching soon. And the best thing to do would be to get your books signed up right away so that when we have the people that are voting in the different genres, you're going to be one of the first.
I love it. I love it. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to all the authors out there and all the people who are ready to make a difference and be a brand, because that's really what it is. When you are an author, you become a brand. And that's why we did 8-second branding, to help everybody with a brand, whether it's personal or business, because we know you can do it. You just have to have the right tools, the right team, the right people. So thank you again. And
thank you so much.
Absolutely. And happy Summer Olympics.
Happy Olympics. Let's go for the gold.
Yeah, go for the gold.
Do you want to increase your sales and word of mouth marketing by constantly being in headline news? Instead of getting lost at a big agency, Goody PR specializes in VIP service, where making your business look good is their top priority. Goody PR founder and best-selling author Liz H. Kelly has been there, done that, and built a team of PR professionals who have booked thousands of major media interviews for clients, including The Today Show, CNN, Fox News, BBC, NPR, and many, many more. Let them partner with you to find ways to magnify your brand so it emotionally connects and reaches your ideal audience. And the best part is that media interviews are 3 times more valuable than any paid ad. What are you waiting for? Email info@goodypr.com today. Set up a call to discuss how to get your story and business moving forward. That's info@goodypr.com. Thank you for tuning in for this edition of 8-Second Branding. Keep checking back for new shows featuring your host, Liz H. Kelly, on the Voice America Business channel.